Hi, I'm Shannon. I'm about to embark on a year-long road trip, and it's kind of a strange way to start this introduction video because I expected as I went on along my trip that I would post interesting things that happen and fun and unique, and I also, thought I'd post any calamities or weird stuff that happened, but I didn't expect to start with the setback. So it's kind of weird and a little embarrassing, but I am going to start my welcome video explaining the setback. Let me back up so you know where I'm coming from. I'm Shannon and I'm an artist. I like to paint primarily using oils, and I'm also a school teacher. I have taught for over 30 years. Monroe County School District is granting me a year-long sabbatical, and on this sabbatical I'm working toward my master's in fine arts from the Academy of Art University. So as soon as I was approved for the sabbatical, I started shopping around for camper, right? All right. So the first place I went to was a little place up in St. Augustine, Florida, up at the top, called RV There Yet. Isn't that a great name? RV There Yet. That was the first place I went to. The first camper I looked at was a truck camper, and that was one I ended up getting. But before that happened, I, did my research, and I went to a whole bunch of different places, and I searched online. My husband and I went to some that were on RV Trader or Facebook Marketplace, to some people selling, their own. And we went to some where the camper didn't look anything like what they put online. I mean, it was like, had leaks in it. There was like big mold and stains all over. And it was like trying to sell with these pictures as they were brand new or something. So the first trip to look for campers, I went with my friend Lynn, and we visited her sister Paula's family and friends, and we had a good time, but I also went and looked for campers. I went to a bunch of different places. And when I was at RV There Yet, I said, can you find me one that'll fit my Tundra? I love my Tundra. I have a 2012 CrewMax Platinum Tundra that I put 250,000 miles on, and I totally intend to put another 250,000 on. So at the end of the weekend, Lynn and I get back into my Tundra to drive back home. Now, it's not a short drive. From St. Augustine to Key West is about 8+ hours drive. All right, and my car won't start. My Tundra won't start at all. Like nothing. Like I turn the key and it goes click, that's it, nothing. So we call AAA. They jump start me. I go over to the shop and they look at it and they said that I need a new starter. It's not gonna start again until I get a new starter. Of course, they can't get me in until like next week, and we need to get home so that we can teach. So anyways, this is what we did. Lynn and I drove home the whole way without ever turning the car off. Yeah, we pumped gas with the car on, and we took turns going inside to, use the restroom or get food or whatever. We drove all the way back without ever turning the truck off. So anyways, we made it back, and then my husband is super handy. So he was able to order a starter and replace it. It was not a little job, by the way, because nowadays they just make cars where everything's impossible to get to and it's a big puzzle. But anyway, he had to go up underneath and remove, I don't know, the carburetor or something. That's probably wrong. And everything, and finally he could get to the starter and replaced it, and it was really awesome. I'm so happy that he did that for me. So my husband replaces the starter, and while he's at it, he decides to replace some other things too. I had a back light that goes into the truck bed out, and that little plastic thing around the antenna, it always breaks on Tundras, I guess. And then I changed the clock spring. I am very proud of this because the service place in Key West told me that they could not do it, or if they did, it was going to be this outrageous amount of money because it was going to be super hard, because they're going to have to take the whole dashboard out or some nonsense. So I haven't had a working horn in years. So I'm like, I'm going to fix this. So I did, and yeah, I have a working horn now. So basically, everything's working really well in the Tundra, and I'm really excited for this trip. I just need to get a camper to go with it. So here comes the embarrassing part. I learned a lot about carrying capacity and camper dealers. AI let me know that the 2012 CrewMax Platinum Tundra had a carrying capacity of 1575, and that the Travel Light Upcountry 2025 had a weight of over 1,700. So that seems like it's already 200 pounds over. So when I went there, I asked, I said, it doesn't seem like my truck has a carrying capacity for this, for this camper. So, what do you think or whatever? They gave me a lot of really good reasons. They told me it depended on the weight distribution and that my Tundra would be fine and I could add 300 pounds to it and I'd be good to go. And I believed them. So we're driving up and everything's kind of okay, except one time when Dave's driving and he gets cut off and he, changes lanes real fast to avoid an accident, and it's feeling really top heavy. And I mean, we've pulled a lot of things, so we know, and we're like, not good. Luckily, we were only about 3 hours from Wisconsin, so when we finally got there, my husband starts to look it up in earnest, not just using AI, by the way. And, he's smart and he looks inside the door of the Tundra and finds out that the towing capacity is 1295. And then looks at the sticker and finds out that the weight of this camper is over 1900 pounds. So then we take it to get weighed just to be sure. So we go to a weigh station and we take everything out. So it is dry weight of the camper. It doesn't have any supplies or luggage or generator, nothing. And we weigh it with the camper on it and we weigh it with the camper off it. What we discover is that the difference between what my Tundra can carry and the weight of this rig without anything in it is already 800 pounds over. So we're not going to do that. But that set us back a lot, and it was frustrating and it was embarrassing because I bought a truck camper, a brand new truck camper that I couldn't use. So we had to decide, what are we going to do? Are we going to try to trade it in? We're not going to get crap for it, but we could try. We could try to sell it. Again, same answer. We went through lots of different scenarios, but we ended up deciding to buy a new truck. Well, an old truck, a used truck, because it really wasn't part of our budget. We kind of maxed out our budget when we bought the camper. So we're going a little over budget here, and we got a truck that can carry it. Anyway, so we're looking at an F-250. So we find one that we really like. It's actually in our price range, and it's a long bed. And guess what? This stupid camper is created with a footprint that is not compatible with a long bed truck. Unbelievable. So anyways, we buy it anyway, and we worked on converting it. I'm going to show it to you. So the first thing that happened was my dad and my husband helped me to build a platform inside here so that it's a little higher because of the antennas on top. This needed to be higher to raise up the truck bed a little. There's also going to be some space here because, again, of the footprint of this silly camper. So we built some things in here to accommodate, and that's making it work. And this is my new used 170,000 miles on it already, and a little dinged up, which I kind of like because I don't have to worry much, right? All right. And this truck is going to get me all over the US in that little travel light back there. And well, hopefully pretty soon we'll be able to get the show on the road. All right, thanks for watching.